Hey everybody, Kyle Fish64 here, and welcome to the first part of my Fallout New Vegas 100% playthrough. So before we get started here with this, I just want to talk through some of the stuff that I want to do with this playthrough. A lot of people who do Let's Plays or playthroughs of Fallout New Vegas, they typically just play through the game and follow a certain path because there are multiple paths in this game, and they finish it, and that's it. Well, what I want to do is something a little different and actually complete every side quest that I possibly can in this game, and fully explore the map, complete all the DLC, and do as many of the extra stuff that's available in this game as I can. So, my main inspiration for this playthrough, I mean, if you've ever watched him, Stephen George, who is one of my personal favorite YouTubers, he actually did a playthrough of Skyrim some years back, and he did a 100% playthrough of that, and it ended up being like 250 parts. I don't think this is going to take that long, but it spanned, I think, nearly 3 years. But he also played it, and in between videos, he paid attention to viewer feedback, and he used that to guide the playthrough. Well, I mean, I don't think I want to go into that much detail with it, or do something that similar. Like, I'm not really going to ask for you guys to help guide me along through this playthrough, since, I mean, I've played this game a million times over, and I have a general path set in mind for how I'm going to do this playthrough. But if you're watching this and you want to leave a suggestion for, you know, how you think I should build my character, or certain perks that I should get, or side quests that you definitely want to see me do as soon as possible, you can leave any of those suggestions down in the comments of this video or any video, and I will look at those, and I will for sure take those into consideration. But for the most part, I'm just going to be playing this game and doing it as completely as I can. So yeah, enough of that. Let's go ahead and get started here. Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, a dream in my heart, without a love of my own. Blue moon, you're just what I'm looking for.
War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. the NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn, training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
The game was rigged from the start. What words to throw us into the game with? Alright, so looks like there's a lot of stuff going on in this world, and what kind of role we're gonna play into that, I guess we'll find out. But first, we've got to figure out where we are. I guess the last thing that happened is we got shot in the head, and now we're waking up in some guy's house.
Just relax a second. Get your bearings. Let's see what the damage is. How about your name? Can you tell me your name?
My name? Well, I guess after getting shot in the head, if I can remember my name, I should be pretty much okay. Alright, I don't know what I'm gonna name my character, but I guess I'll just put in something real quick. Let's do... Let's not do my real name. That's kinda lame. I know. That's a lot better and a lot more original. God damn it. That works for me.
What I'd have picked for you, but if that's your name, that's your name.
Well, it's not an actual name, but it works. Your name is a lot better, Mr. Doc Mitchell.
I hope you don't mind, but I had to go rooting around there in your noggin to pull all the bits of lead out. I take pride in my needlework, but you'd better tell me if I left anything out of place.
Okay, so as we create our character here, which is the first thing we're going to be doing, I just want to give some background for this game in case you're watching this and you've never played this game before or heard of it. But if you haven't heard of the Fallout series, then you're probably living under a rock, or you're just getting into the gaming scene. But even then. Okay, so this Fallout New Vegas is the fourth main game in the Fallout series. It comes after Fallout 3, and it was more or less just quote-unquote an expansion of or for Fallout 3. It uses the same system as Fallout 3, the same mechanics for the most part, except there's a lot of new additions and minor changes that they implemented between the two games. But this is very similar in play style and just general functioning as Fallout 3. But yeah, I mean, and then this was obviously followed by Fallout 4. So it's not technically the fourth game in the Fallout series. I mean, it comes fourth in the main series if you don't count all the random miscellaneous Fallout games that no one cares about, like Brotherhood and stuff like that. But yeah, it's not technically a main game in the series, but it is one that is given a lot of attention and does play a role in some things in the canon. But yeah, so I think I like the beard. I don't know why I like the beard, but this guy's gonna have a beard. So yeah, yes, I want this to be my character.
Most of it right anyway. Stuff that mattered. Okay. No sense keeping you in bed anymore. Let's see if we can get you on your feet.
All right, whoa, take it easy there, Sonny.
Good.
I've never been shot in the head, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what would happen if I was standing up for the first time after being shot in the head. But okay. So, one general thing for this playthrough, just to mention it and get it out of the way, because it is something that I've been doing that's already annoying me. But I'm going to try not to talk when NPCs are talking, because it's just, I don't know, it just kind of ruins the whole experience. Like, you want to pay attention to the characters in the game itself and not my random witty comment that's going on with it. I mean, if I have something important enough that I want to say, I might say it while they're talking, but usually I'll just wait until afterwards. Okay, so as I mentioned, this whole beginning part is just us creating our character. So the vigor tester,
Learn right quick if you got back all your faculties.
yes, that is an important thing. Anytime you have a traumatic brain injury, you want to make sure that the person is as close to how they were before the injury as possible. And that's coming from someone who is not a brain surgeon or a doctor at all. But anyways, so what we're doing here is setting up our character's basic traits. Or these aren't really our traits, but these are like our base stats, our special stats. So there's how many is there here? 7 of these that we need to set. I could just give a very brief rundown of each of these. I could go into a lot of detail, but I won't because it's boring and you probably won't even care that much. But strength affects your carry weight, your unarmed damage or melee damage. Perception affects how well your character can pick up enemies. It affects your effectiveness with energy, weapons, and explosives. Determines your lockpick skill a little bit and your general accuracy. Endurance basically determines your health and how much abuse your character can take and how much damage and all that. Charisma, kind of self-explanatory. It's just how smooth talking our character is, and that of course affects our speech skill and how well we carry ourselves with our companions. Intelligence affects your, like, how much skill points you get every level, and your medicine, repair, and science skills, so any skill that involves intelligence in general. Agility affects how fast your character moves, your AP and your AP regen, which that's something I can explain later on, and how effective your character is with guns in general, and the sneak skill. And then your luck affects a lot of things. It affects every skill just a little bit, and it also affects your critical hit chance and how well you do at gambling. So yeah, it's generally a useful skill to put a point into, but not really an essential one. So you start out here with 5 points that you can put into these skills. You can take away points and get more points to put into the other skills. But the only skill I'm going to take points away from is our agility, and I'm going to put that point into our luck. So I'm going to go ahead and give the character 6 strength, 6 perception, 7 charisma, because being able to smooth talk your way out of stuff is really good for this game and for your character. And then I'll put a 6-1 into intelligence because we want to be effective with repairing and our science skill. Okay, enough of that boring stuff. We've got our character.
Pretty standard.
We got their
I thought you
basic
were
stuff
good
set.
to- I'd say that's great news.
Oh yeah.
Well, we know your vitals are good, but that don't mean them bullets didn't leave you nuttered and a big one and dropping.
Well, I mean, if I'm communicating with you and not throwing my own dung around the place, then I guess I'm not that nutty. Okay, so we need to sit down on his couch, and he's going to give us a little mini counseling session here.
All right. I'm gonna say a word. I want you to say the first thing that comes to mind. Dog.
Okay, classic word association tests. Tapping into the unconscious mind. Wonderful. Okay, so you could give any response here that you want. It doesn't really matter. This is basically going to determine your tag traits, which we can change those in just a moment. But yeah, that'll make sense in just a second.
House.
House. Shelter.
Night.
Night. Dark. Except dark is not a selection, which sucks. Dream. Bandit. Kill. Or stab. That works.
Light.
Dark.
Mother.
Lover. Whoa, wait, whoa. Don't take that out of context. Caretaker.
Okay. Now I got a few statements. I want you to tell me how much they sound like something you'd say.
Okay.
First one. Conflict just ain't in my nature.
Well, I mean, I'll try to answer these questions as close to how I would answer them in person. I mean, I don't really like conflict, but sometimes it is necessary, so let's just say agree.
I ain't given to relying on others for support.
Nah, you need someone to lean on every now and then, so I'm gonna say disagree.
I'm always fixin' to be the center of attention.
Not at all. I've often been described as a wallflower, so that would not fit me at all. Let's go strongly disagree.
I'm slow to embrace new ideas.
It depends on referring to what. I mean, I did just recently get a Twitter for the first time, so maybe I'll say no opinion.
I charge in to deal with my problems head on.
Nope. Gotta think about stuff before you do it.
Almost done here. What do you say you have a look at this? Tell me what you see.
Okay, so now he's busting out the Rorschach ink blots, also tapping into the unconscious. So what do I see there? It looks like a bomb explosion, but upside down. So like an upside down mushroom cloud, but that's not an option. So I'll just say a chemical reaction. That's kind of close.
Okay. How about this one?
That, sir, looks like a vagina, but the only option that's closest to that is I'm too embarrassed to say what it looks like, and I'm guessing the developers were thinking that would be the answer for people who think that looks like a vagina, and I will go with it.
Last one.
That, sir, is a bearded man or two people putting their hands together while staring each other in the face. Is that an option? No. A head on a pillow. That one I don't see. But yeah, I'll say a bearded man because that was my first response.
Well, that's all she wrote. I don't have nothing to compare it to, so maybe you'd better just have a look at the results. See if it all seems right to you.
Alright, Doc Mitchell, what do you got for me? Okay, so according to the responses that I chose, the game thinks that our tag skills should be guns, science, and sneak. Well, I like the science. Actually, I don't. These are not any of the options that I was going to choose for this character. So, that sucks. But we can actually just take these off and put them in the skills that we want. So, as I mentioned near the start of this playthrough, or the start of this video, I do already have set in mind how I want to build this character, at least a little bit. So, I know the skills that I want to choose for this, but you can do this however you want to, whatever fits your character and play style the best. but I'm going to go with repair, medicine, not melee weapons, medicine, and speech. And my rationale for each of these is that with speech, we want to be able to smooth talk our way out of situations, and we want to be able to pass spell checks as much as we can whenever they come up. For repair, we want to be able to effectively repair our weapons and just repair broken things that we find. So it's a really useful skill to have. And medicine, we want to be able to have our medicinal supplies work as effectively as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much my main rationale for those. There's also a list of perks that I have that I want to get, and for some of the perks you have to have a certain level of certain skills, so that kind of plays into it as well. But alright.
Before I turn you loose, I need one more thing from you. I got a form for you to fill out so I can get a sense of your medical history. Just a formality. Ain't like I expect to find you got a family history of getting shot in the head.
Alright, so now we get to pick some traits for our character. There are tons of these, but you only get to select 2, and these 2 will stay with you for the rest of the game. So it's a very important decision to make. Honestly, some of these are pretty useless, but I won't bore you with the details of why I think so. Let's see, what's this one? This random one. Hey, early risers, enjoy a +2 to each of your special attributes from 6 a.m. to 12 p.m., but suffer a -1 from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. when you're not at your best. I think I've never done this, but if I was playing like a roleplay playthrough, which is kind of what I'm doing for Fallout 4 right now, but this is probably one of the perks that I would choose, or one of the traits, because I myself am a bit of an early bird. But you know what? Okay, let's go ahead and choose this one here, Wild Wasteland. Basically, what this does is it allows really random but interesting Easter eggs to pop out throughout the game. And there's one particular Easter egg in specific that I want to get. Man, I can't English today apparently. But yeah, there's one specific Easter egg that I'm getting this trait for because you get a really strong weapon from it. So yeah. The other one I'm going to get is 4 Eyes. I myself wear glasses, so this kind of fits me a little bit. But you also get +1 perception anytime you're wearing glasses. And glasses are a pretty common thing that you can find throughout this game. So yeah, having that one extra perception is great. And you will almost never not have glasses, so you will never have to worry about the -1 perception when you're not wearing glasses. But yeah, okay, that works for me.
Alright, I guess that about does it. Come with me, I'll see you out.
Alright. Do I get some clothes? Because at the moment I'm walking around in my skivvies and a t-shirt, and I do feel a little uncomfortable. Now, before we leave Doc Mitchell's house, I do want to essentially steal from him, because he's got a lot of good stuff just sitting around his house, including glasses, which we can equip to make use of our 4 Eyes perk. There's also a magazine here, which I had accidentally picked up, I guess. Today's physician, that will temporarily increase our medicine skill. So if we need to do something that requires that skill and we just don't quite have it high enough, we can use that magazine for a temporary boost. There's also a doctor's bag, which is a good item that will actually repair any broken limbs that you have. There's a bunch of random stuff here that I don't want, but there is a chemistry set that I want to activate, because if we do, we can make stim packs, but only if we have a science of 25, which apparently I don't. That sucks. There is a broken 9mm submachine gun, which we can repair because we do have the required repair skill. So that's actually a good item to start out with. I'm going to take that. There's also a crate of Sunset Sarsaparilla. So that's a decent healing item that we'll grab. And what do we got over here? Anti-venom, stim packs. Just, you can find a lot of healing items here and a lot of weapons and such. So just grab those. If you don't grab anything else, grab those. And that would be good. In fact, I think those are actually the only real items of any value here that you can get. Yeah, any of the weapons and any of the healing items. And chems. Chems are really good too. Okay, there's a knife, which I don't exactly want. Buffalo gourd I'll take. What do we got in here? Oh, actually, I could take that carton of cigarettes and sell it. Because it's actually worth just a little bit. Ammo here that I will take. I'll take that stuff. Purified water, that's going to be really useful. Now, I will actually be doing this playthrough in hardcore mode. So, yeah, it's I mean, any time I come across purified water, I'm going to grab it without any hesitation. But yeah, I just feel like hardcore mode gives you a bit of an extra challenge, and I will explain what exactly that mode is in just a second here. But man, this guy's got a pretty crappy looking house. I mean, I know this is the post-apocalypse, but, you know, he could still work on some stuff. I mean, it doesn't have to be all gloom and doom, I guess. Or doom and gloom. I think I had that backwards the first time I said it. Alright, Doc Mitchell, I've basically raided your house, so I'm ready to go.
Here, these are yours. Was all you had on you when you was brought in. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the note a look. I thought it might help me find a next of kin. But it was just something about a platinum chip. Well, if you're heading back out there, you ought to have this. They call it a Pip-Boy. I grew up in one of them vaults they made before the war. We all got one. Ain't much use to be now, but you might want such a thing after what you've been through. I know what it's like having something taken from you. And put this on too, so the locals don't pick on you for lacking modesty. Never was much my style anyway.
Thanks for patching me up, Doc. You no longer are you what? You not only saved my life, but you also got me properly equipped to go out into the waste, not in the nude. Okay.
Don't mention it. It's what I'm here for. You should talk to Sunny Smiles before you leave town. She can help you learn to fend for yourself in the desert. She'll likely be at the saloon. I reckon some of the other folks at the saloon might be able to help you out too. And the metal fella, Victor, who pulled you out of your grave. Anyway, you ever get hurt out there, you come right back. I'll fix you up. But try not to get killed anymore.
Alright, thanks, Doc. Okay, so this is the prompt that will basically ask you if you want to play in hardcore mode or not. Now, you can't activate this. Actually, maybe you can. You may turn hardcore mode on or off at any time in the gameplay menu. Okay, got it. Alright, so what this does is it adds some different factors that you have to pay attention to as you go through the game. So these include thirst, hunger, sleep, and I think that's actually it. But yeah, it adds a little bit of an extra challenge to the game, and it makes it a little more interesting. So I always play the game with this mode on. So yes, I want to. Okay, and that completes our first quest. Ain't that a kick in the head? Okay, so let's head out here, and I'll probably end off the video fairly soon. My goal is to keep these videos between 30 and 40 minutes long because I only plan on doing 3 videos of this a week, so that seems reasonable to me. Okay, so we're going to load a bunch of DLC here. I'm just going to skip through all that because we won't be doing any of that DLC anytime soon. Gunrunner's Arsenal, that's actually one that I could have explained, but no biggie. Okay, so we start out here in Good Springs, quaint looking town, and I guess we will go ahead and start exploring that here. Okay, there's a random robot. This was probably the one that saved us. Yeah. Quit loading DLC stuff. I need to not have that interrupt me again. Okay. What's up? You are Victor, the guy who saved
Howdy,
us.
Partner. Might I say you're looking fit as a fiddle?
Well, thank you. And thanks for digging me out of that grave.
Don't mention it. I'm always ready to lend a helping hand to a stranger in need.
How did you happen to find me? I mean, were you just sitting in the desert waiting for something to happen?
I was out for a stroll that night when I heard the commotion up the old bone orchard. Saw what looked like a bunch of bad eggs, so I laid low. Once they had run off, I dug you up to see if you were still kicking. Turns out you were. So I hauled you off to the dock right quick.
Mm-hmm. Likely story. Do you know those men who were... do you know who those men were that attacked me?
Can't say that I'm familiar with the rascals. Some of the fine folks in town might be able to help you out with that.
Alright, how did you end up in Good Springs, Mr. Random Cowboy Robot?
I moseyed into town, 10, 15 years ago. Before that, I can't quite seem to recall. Odd. Anyway, it's a right peaceful town, and I reckon it's as fine a place to settle as any.
Okay. I believe you now, I guess. You've convinced me, Robot. I've never seen a robot like you before.
I'm a Securitron. Robco Security Model 2060B. If you ever see any of my brothers, tell them Victor says howdy.
Okay, even though I don't think, I mean, there's a chance that not, like the other robots might not actually be able to talk, so I don't know if I can exactly do that, but I will if I can.
Happy trails!
Happy trails indeed, buddy. Okay. So that being said, I think I'll just go ahead and end this video off here because, we do have some stuff coming up that we need to do, including a tutorial, a basic tutorial on how to survive and stuff in the wastes, but I guess I'll save that for the next part. So if you guys like this video, please feel free to like, subscribe, and do all that other good stuff. Make sure to leave any feedback that you have in the comments. I love seeing that stuff. So yep, and next time we will do that tutorial stuff that I just mentioned. So yeah, I will see you guys next time. Stay awesome, everyone.